Co-presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies. Co-presented by Century Ply, आग से बचाए. Co-presented by Macho Hint, fashion बड़े आराम से. Co-powered by Samsonite, tested like Samsonite. Indian Oil, पहले Indian फिर Oil. Hyundai Ioniq 5, the all-electric SUV.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newstrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. Rahul Gandhi's mega Bharat Jodo Yatra is over. What's the mood in the nation when it comes to Rahul Gandhi's popularity? On the Newstrack tonight, for the first time, we will go state by state, assess Rahul Gandhi's popularity before the Yatra, during the course of the Yatra, and at the end of the Yatra. Everyone has an opinion. But what does the data say? Just how much of an impact has the Bharat Jodo Yatra had on Rahul Gandhi's national and state-wise popularity? That special show is my top focus on the Newstrack.
4,000 kilometers done. What next for Rahul? Congress betting on Raga reborn. Will T-shirt Tapasvi stay on track? Will the viral images become viral votes? Can Naya Bharat accept Naya Rahul? Big focus on Newstrack.
Leave opinions on the side. Let's look at the hard data. We'll show you the mood of the nation, state by state, when it comes to the question of Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra. Here are the headlines I'm tracking tonight. As Congress's Bharat Jodo Yatra concludes, Union Minister Anurag Thakur hits out at Rahul Gandhi, mocks the Congress MP for playing with snow, says Gandhi was able to picnic in Srinagar because of the Modi government. Mahua Moitra, Prashant Bhushan, journalist N. Ram moved the Supreme Court against the ban on the BBC documentary on Prime Minister Modi. Law Minister slams the move, says this is how Apex Court time is wasted. After Khalistani goons bash up Indian students in Melbourne, India sends out a strong message. Envoy visits temples that were vandalized with Khalistani graffiti. It's a mega business today exclusive amid controversies. Adani Group's backs its CFO, comes out with a big counter to the Hindenburg attack. Adani Group's top financial officer calls the report bogus. Shahrukh Khan gives a message of love after the smashing success of Pathan. Says he doesn't want to hurt religious sentiments but wants to present India's culture in a modern way.
For supporting the film so much, in spite of the fact that there might have been things that could have curtailed the happy release of this film. All our colleagues and friends in the film industry for bringing life back to cinemas. तो बहुत-बहुत आप सबका धन्यवाद.
The mood of the nation on Rahul Gandhi coming up in just a moment. From Kanyakumari to Kashmir, over 4,000 kilometers, Bharat Jodo Yatra's grand finale happened in snowed-out Srinagar today. Rahul Gandhi, who traded his white T-shirt for a Firan, led the mega rally at the Sher-e-Kashmir Cricket Stadium to mark the end of the 135-day-long journey.
Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra ends after covering a distance of nearly 4,000 kilometers from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. Rahul Gandhi, accompanied by Sister Priyanka and Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge, first unfurled the tricolour at the party headquarters in the snow-covered Srinagar. This was followed by a rally at the packed Sher-e-Kashmir Stadium where Rahul struck an emotional chord. He recalled the assassinations of his father and grandmother, stressed the point that he understood the pain of those who lost their family members in terror attacks.
मैं प्रिंसिपल के ऑफिस पहुंचा तो प्रिंसिपल ने कहा, राहुल तुम्हारे घर से फोन कॉल है। राहुल दादी को गोली मार दी। पिता के एक दोस्त थे, उन्होंने मुझे फोन किया और कहा, राहुल बुरी खबर है। मैंने उनसे कहा, मैं जानता हूं पापा मर गए। कहते हैं हाँ। यात्रा का लक्ष्य है कि ये जो फोन कॉल हैं, चाहे ये आर्मी के हों, चाहे CRPF के हों, चाहे ये कश्मीर के लोगों के हो, ये फोन कॉल बंद हो जाए।
The Congress MP dared Home Minister Amit Shah to hold a Padyatra from Jammu to Srinagar.
जैसे मोदी जी हैं, अमित शाह जी हैं, RSS के लोग हैं, उन्होंने हिंसा नहीं देखी है। डरते हैं, नहीं डरते हैं, देखिए डरते हैं। यहां पे हम 4 दिन पैदल चले, मैं आपको गारंटी देके कह सकता हूं कि बीजेपी का कोई नेता ऐसे नहीं चल सकता।
Rahul stuck to his theme "Daro Mat" throughout the speech.
तो मैंने मौका दिया, मैंने कहा मैं 4 दिन चलूंगा, बदल दो टी-शर्ट का रंग, लाल कर दो, देखी जाएगी।
The Gandhis called the Jammu Kashmir visit a homecoming for them.
जब मेरे भाई कश्मीर की तरफ आ रहे थे तो उन्होंने एक मैसेज भेजा हमें, मुझे और मेरी माँ को। उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे एक अजीब सी फीलिंग हो रही है, महसूस हो रहा है कि मैं अपने घर जा रहा हूँ।
Though the Congress had invited over 20 like-minded parties to the rally, the only big faces that showed up came from the valley, putting a big question mark on opposition unity. Rahul Gandhi may have shed this image of non-serious politician with the grueling Padyatra, but has the Bharat Jodo Yatra energized Congress cadres and leaders? The real test comes later this year, when 3 states in the Hindi heartland, where the Congress is locked in a direct face-off with BJP, go to polls. Bureau Report, India Today.
What's the mood of the nation on the question of Rahul Gandhi now that this 4,000-kilometer Bharat Jodo Yatra is over? On this show, I'm going to go state by state, look at Rahul Gandhi's popularity as of today, compare it with Rahul's popularity before the Yatra, and we'll try and see what the delta is, the difference between Rahul Gandhi's popularity earlier and now. And joining me for this special presentation, as always, on everything to do with politics, Rajdeep Sardesai back again. We've got Rashid Kidwai joining us. Sanjay Jha, political analyst, has been in the Congress. Syed Zafar Islam joins us, national spokesperson of the BJP, and Rohan Gupta, spokesperson of the Congress. So stay with me. I'll go through a block of states and then we'll start talking. I'll start from the south of India, which is where Rahul Gandhi's Yatra started from. Remember, it was in Tamil Nadu that the Yatra really got started. And if you see, when you compare the impact the Yatra has had, in Tamil Nadu, Rahul Gandhi has always been popular. Even in the 2019 elections, we saw it. So when you look at the number of people who say they're satisfied with Rahul Gandhi's Yatra, it's 6 out of 10. That's a strong number, but the needle hasn't really moved much in that first state that we're looking at, which is Tamil Nadu. So it stayed in the early 60s throughout from 2019 till today. Let's now come to Kerala. This is the second state. Again, the Yatra went through Kerala. Kerala, one of the states where the Congress still has a strong presence on the ground. Here as well, 69% around the time of the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. As of now, it's 64. So Rahul Gandhi's Yatra has helped ensure that before the Yatra, the number had actually come down to 56. And I think that is critical because no point going too far back. If you look at just where he was before the Yatra, there is about an 8% increase. So from about 56 to 64, an increase visible in Kerala in Rahul Gandhi's popularity on the back of the Yatra. But again, Kerala is one state where Rahul Gandhi has been popular for a long time, and therefore he stays popular, and the popularity has gone up a certain amount. Let's come to the crucial state of Karnataka, which is where there's a big election in April, May, and this is important because this is where the Congress thinks it has a chance to unseat the BJP in a direct face-off in a big state, not Himachal Pradesh. On the 1st of January, Rahul Gandhi's popularity in Karnataka had slipped as much as 39%. From there, it's at about 56%. So there again, a reasonably big jump, or 25 odd percentage points, but in the last 1 year. And on the back of the Yatra, again, in the mid-50s. Karnataka, again, a state where Rahul Gandhi has been strong. And he's doing fine, 56%. It's less than 2019, but still mid-50s is good popularity for Rahul Gandhi, who nationally otherwise was in the 20s and early 30s. So therefore, from there, there's a big jump. Let's now look at Telangana, another South Indian state where elections could happen sometime in the next several months towards the end of the year, early next year. There you've got Rahul Gandhi at 51%, after the Yatra 56%, 55% before. But remember, so this is also a diminished Rahul Gandhi who's making comeback. See, if you look at January 1, 2022, Rahul Gandhi was literally at his political nadir, 35%. That's how low it had fallen. From there, he's kind of come up at 51%. The other way of looking at the same data, though, is to say, well, if you compare with 2019, he's actually still 6% down. So we're putting the data out. What you make of it is really down to you. Do you want to pick 2019 Lok Sabha as your base? Do you want to look at January 1, 2022? I would look at January 1 for the reason that that's how far he'd fallen. From there, he's coming back. And therefore, that's really, if you're looking at the data objectively, that's really the way to study the data. Let's now come to Maharashtra, and then I'll throw it open for our first set of responses. In Maharashtra, Rahul Gandhi's popularity was 40% in January 1, 2022. So at the start of last year, 40%. It came down to 39% before the Yatra. From there, it's gone up. So Rahul Gandhi has improved, but just marginally. So on that note, let's get in some responses, starting with Rajdeep. I haven't showed you what's happened in Middle India, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, and in the north. We'll come to that in a moment. But from what we've seen so far, Rajdeep, it's had some impact, but it's not as if it's like a blockbuster like Pathan.
That's right, Rahul. Of course, we'll wait to see what your numbers from the Hindi heartland are, where, remember, the Congress has faced a series of defeats in recent times. But the sense one gets is that Rahul Gandhi has established himself within the Congress cadres as their Neta number one. He has, in a way, earned the respect of the Congress cadres, who a number of them privately would say that Rahul Gandhi was where he was because he was simply an inheritor. But as these numbers show, has Rahul Gandhi's popularity increased wildly among possibly non-Congress voters or fence-sitters? I think that's the question mark. That hasn't happened. And therefore, I think Rahul Gandhi, through this yatra, may well have gone a long way in doing some kind of an image transformation, in ensuring that people take him more seriously, possibly even setting an ideological narrative for the Congress party. But the challenge for Rahul Gandhi, Rahul, is how do I go beyond the echo chambers of my own party? How do I convince people who haven't voted for the Congress over the last decade that yes, the Congress is an electable force that offers a strong alternative narrative to what Narendra Modi and the BJP are putting forward? And unless he does that, I think the yatra in itself is certainly not enough for a party which both organizationally and electorally has considerably weakened in recent times. So it's enthused Congress cadres, no doubt, Rahul. But beyond that, can it set a narrative that challenges Mr. Modi in the near term and in the long term? You know, it's still not clear whether this yatra has done enough to really set the Congress, reset the, put the Congress on a reset button. I think the Congress needed a reset button. The yatra has taken a first step towards it, but needs to do much more. So it's a good first step, but clearly not enough yet.
Since the stock markets have been so much in the news, Rahul Gandhi was a stock which was very diminished, very battered. From there, he's been able to correct his political valuation. He obviously hasn't become a gangbuster stock just yet, but he's been able to correct his valuation. Supriya Bhardwaj has been traveling with Rahul Gandhi all the way from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. Supriya, you've traversed the length of this yatra. Give our viewers your best sense of how you've seen Rahul Gandhi change during the course of the yatra. You've tracked his political journey. Has he changed? In what ways? What have you seen?
Well, Rahul, first and foremost, I feel that I was just listening to your discussion with Mr. Sardesai. I feel that what has happened here is that Rahul Gandhi, we have seen as to how the entire BJP, all the top leaders to the cadre rally around Mr. Modi. On the other hand, when Rahul Gandhi is concerned, a lot of leaders sitting in the Lutyens' Delhi or at 24 Akbar Road have been, challenging his stands on various issues, at the same time, sometimes mocking him. What has happened now through this yatra is the cadre has consolidated and has thrown its weight behind Rahul Gandhi. That's why in the entire yatra you will see as to how Rahul Gandhi was mentioning again and again Congress party ka karyakarta, Babbar, Sher and Shernia. So he has reached out to the cadre, and that's what has happened is that Rahul Gandhi is saying that his main strength right now is that of the cadre, and the cadre has also thrown its weight behind Rahul Gandhi. What we saw in Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh was it was the cadre which has brought all the people along with them, especially in Andhra where the Congress party, the entire unit has gone to other parties. There also we saw a large number of people coming, and they were coming to see Rahul Gandhi. So interesting, this entire yatra. Yes, the biggest challenge now remains that of whether this popularity will Congress be able to convert it into that of the electoral gains. That we have to see. Now this is the biggest challenge. As far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, he's opening up. Today the speech which he has given in Sher-e-Kashmir Stadium in Srinagar was very emotional. In this entire yatra we have seen a different side. People who knew him knew this side also, but he was not very open for the public as far as personal life was concerned. He is talking at length about as far as his preferences for food is concerned, as far as his equation with his sister and friends is concerned. He has even talked about his love for automobiles as well as that of aeroplanes and aircraft. So we are seeing as Rahul Gandhi the more human. Yes, he's become more aggressive. At the same time, also the core values, the essence and the foundations haven't changed. But yes, one thing I feel is this, that in the Congress, which is in the transition phase, they are also understanding that there is a top leader, there is an ideology, and there is a stand which the top party takes and the top leadership takes. And everybody has to follow. And somewhere now, slowly, and the entire Congress cadre and the leaders are rallying around Rahul Gandhi. Today, that's why we have seen right from Bhupesh Baghel to all the top leaders coming out and saying, including Mr. Kharge, who is the Congress president, that the 2024 Lok Sabha election will be led by Rahul Gandhi. So somewhere,
so he's established himself as the fulcrum of the Congress party. He seemed a bit confused about whether he wanted to do this job at all. He's established through these 4,000 kilometers that he's walked that he is at the core of the Congress, for good or for bad. Now that is something that voters have to decide. Let's now move to Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab and some of the other states. So I want to start from Madhya Pradesh. Now here, around the 1st of January last year, Rahul Gandhi's popularity was at 46%. It's currently at 49%. So you can see it's gained somewhat, but not a very big jump. Let's come to Haryana. Let's come to Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, in January 1, 2022, which is last year, Rahul Gandhi's popularity had fallen to as low as 33%. From there, a 12% increase, 45%. So 33 to 45, 12% increase in Rajasthan. Again, a poll-bound state. You can't say that's not substantial. That's a reasonable jump. Also, remember, here is someone people didn't really have very high expectations from. So for him to get a 12% bump in a state like Rajasthan is not a mean feat. Let's come to Haryana. In fact, it's in Haryana, and this is interesting, where Rahul Gandhi has actually seen a big jump. His popularity in January 22 was just 29%. From there, it's gone up to almost 58%. So that's a big jump. If there's any one state where the data suggests the biggest jump in Rahul Gandhi's popularity from the states that have gone through so far, it's the state of Haryana, where from about 30% to about 58% in a matter of a year, that's a big jump. in the popularity of Rahul Gandhi. From there, let's come to Delhi. Here again, last year, Rahul Gandhi's popularity had fallen as much as 32%. From there, it's jumped up to 45%. So that again is a 13% increase in Rahul Gandhi's popularity from last year to now. And as you look at the dates of the Yatra, you can see when the Yatra started to now, Rahul Gandhi has moved from 55 to 45. So it's not a very big increase, but if you compare with last year, which is really the base that you should be looking at, because that's where his political journey had fallen to, it's 13% up. In Uttar Pradesh, from January 1, 2022, Rahul Gandhi now at 42. In January 1, he was 37. So that again is about a 5% increase in the popularity of Rahul Gandhi in Uttar Pradesh. Let's come to Punjab. In Punjab, in January, he'd fallen to 34%. From there, he's now at 47. That's a 13% increase in Rahul Gandhi's popularity in Punjab. That again is not insubstantial. That's a 13% increase, a pretty decent increase for a leader who seemed to have lost all. Remember, that's why this is significant. He'd lost all his political credibility. From there, he's been able to stitch some credibility together. So you have to calibrate your expectations also in light of how much people's perception of Rahul Gandhi had fallen. From Punjab, let me come to Himachal Pradesh. In Himachal Pradesh last year, his popularity was at 35%. From there, it's now jumped up to 45%. That's significant. Let's come to Jammu and Kashmir, where the rally ended. Here, Rahul Gandhi now stands at 51%. In January, he was at 42%. So a 9% increase in Rahul Gandhi's popularity in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So I'll go across and show you the national figures in just a moment, but let me go across to our guests. Rajdeep, I'll start with you. Haryana, big jump. Punjab, reasonable jump. Madhya Pradesh, just 3%, so that's really not much there. It's a mixed bag. Now, it depends on how you view the Congress and how you view Rahul Gandhi. In states, he has made an impact. You could look at that, or you could look at a state like Uttar Pradesh, where again, the increase in popularity is quite marginal, and that's a big state.
The fact is that Rahul Gandhi's Yatra, Rahul went through states, mainly through states where the Congress already had a reasonably strong organization. It didn't go, for example, into large parts of eastern Uttar Pradesh or Bihar or indeed Bengal, Odisha, where the Congress organization in recent times has taken a battering and almost become non-existent in some parts. So I think these numbers will not tell us the full picture till we actually see what impact Rahul Gandhi's Yatra is having on election after election, starting with 3 elections in the northeast. I think you've got to see it, Rahul, more in the context of the Congress party, which was in ICU, which was lacking a mass connect, which was lacking ideological cohesion, which was lacking any kind of leadership. At least finding in the Yatra some kind of a talking point and some kind of a oar to hold on to. When you're in the ocean and being buffeted by the waves all around you, you've actually managed to find something to hold on to, because until now, the crisis the Congress faced, that there was no captain on the ship, no one was steering it, and it was going through turbulent waters. Now the question is, what happens next? You've shown through this Yatra that yes, you're willing to provide a sense of ideological direction, enthuse your cadres, do that mass connect that you need, but you're going to have to now sustain it over a period of time, starting with organizational rebuilding. If you can do that, then I do believe that this Yatra will be successful if it's Yatra plus. But if it's just a Yatra which was aimed at image rebuilding of Rahul Gandhi, then I'm afraid the Yatra will not achieve the ultimate goal of a political party, which is to become more electable and actually get power. This cannot be power is poison anymore, Rahul.
I want to go across to Yashwant Deshmukh. Yashwant runs See Voter. He did this study for us. I haven't, Yashwant, given away so far the overall national picture, but if you look on a state-by-state basis, give our viewers your analysis of which are the states you think Rahul Gandhi's Yatra has really helped him shore up his personal popularity, and where do you think he hasn't made much of an impact, and why?
I think, Rahul, the biggest impact or sustainable impact is in the south of India. I think he started in rightly in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and as he progressed up north, the impact has been good. But please remember, this has been a repairing journey of sorts, because in the last over the last 4 years, his numbers had dropped down alarmingly. And what Yatra has served the purpose is repairing his numbers, repairing Congress numbers as well on the in the process. But as Rajdeep said, key thing is sustainability. Because if you look at the national numbers, as when you show it, you will realize that people are positive about the yatra. No yatra has gone nishfal in this country, for that matter. So if you are on the ground, people are going to appreciate it. And that is what has been the finding of our MOT and questions on Yatra as well, where a big number of people said that it is a good exercise, good mass contact program, but it needs sustainability in order to get some electoral dividend out of it. What remains to be seen, what people are really looking forward to watch out for, what is the follow-up program? What exactly Congress does after this Yatra? How much Rahul Gandhi remains active after this Yatra? And that is very much going to decide if the fruits of these of all this exercise are going to be sustainable on a long-term basis.
Rashid Kidwai usually has a good nose for what's happening inside the Congress. Rashid, try and answer some of those questions. What is Rahul Gandhi's plan now that this Yatra is over? What do people who've been speaking to Rahul Gandhi think about his political appetite and how this Yatra has shaped him? Remember, it's a big journey in anybody's life, 4,000 kilometers, 100 plus days. It shapes you as a human being. It shapes your political thoughts. How do you think it's shaped Rahul Gandhi? What do you think will happen next? Rashid Kidwai.
So I think Rahul Gandhi has a tendency to either arrive early or late. You look at he's put in a lot of hard work since he joined the politics and since 2004, but success has largely been eluding him. So I think now he started taking, back to basics. This Yatra has created a kind of good atmosphere. His popularity rating, as you can see, has gone up, but in most places it is below 2019 benchmark. But what Rahul Gandhi is going to do now next is, I think, he's going to focus on 200 Lok Sabha seats across the country and focus and try to get somewhere close to 100 seats. Remember, when Rahul Gandhi joined politics, Congress was almost zero in 4 states of UP, Bihar, Bengal and Tamil Nadu, on its own. Now the tally has gone up to almost 10 seats. You have Delhi, you have Gujarat, you have Andhra, Telangana, Odisha. Several states have gone up, have joined that, that group of 10 states. So this is a major challenge. I think things look very difficult for Rahul Gandhi, but he is going to take, step-by-step approach, baby steps, but significant steps.
Sanjay Jha, you were a believer, then a naysayer. How do you think this Yatra has changed Rahul Gandhi? Has it at all? And the biggest question of all, how sustainable is this? Because the big problem with Rahul Gandhi's off-and-on politics has been he'll shine for a while and then head out. I don't even want to get into where he heads out, but wherever he heads out, he goes, and then it seems like here's an off-and-on politician. He's not a committed politician in the way that he's been in the last 130 odd days.
Rahul, I don't think the Bharat Jodo Yatra would have ever had a target of, providing instant gratification. A lot of people began to read into the Yatra and the results in Gujarat, for example, or for that matter, even Himachal. I think that was, in my opinion, frankly speaking, practically unfair. Because the benefits or whatever are going to be the spin-offs that Congress can leverage electorally, I think happens over a period of time. So I think it will have to be seen over the course of the entire year. But there can be no denying that Rahul Gandhi's political brand definitely stands resurrected. I think, if the BJP were to try to ridicule him, I do think over a period of time it will boomerang on the BJP. I think that's a significant step forward for the Congress because, like it or not, even the naysayers within the Congress and those outside, the Congress and the Gandhi family are pretty much synonymous. They are very inextricably intertwined.
Rahul has been derided as a pappu for a long time. The Congress doesn't like it at all. Do you think at the end of this Yatra, that image, no, it doesn't matter how positive an image you have, but that really negative image has now been shed? Or do you think that might still change? Or do you think at least the negativity is now in the past?
Rahul, in my opinion, all those people who even earlier called him Papu, and I do agree that Rahul should have been a lot more savvy about understanding the ramifications of being casual on media. But the truth is that the BJP maliciously, in a very malignant campaign, tried to destroy his brand. It was very unfair, in my opinion. Rahul has always been a more well-read, he's conservative, he's not necessarily trained himself for media, but I think he was never the kind of Pappu that the world tried to make him out to be. But there are two other aspects that are very crucial here, Rahul. In my opinion, the organizational energy that I see in the cadres today, that needs to be channelized more, shall we say, intelligently towards how you're going to win elections. So I do believe that the Congress's campaign of Haath Se Haath Jodo, which is meant to actually mobilize the cadres to go and knock on the doors of the ordinary households, could become the real critical differentiator. And the third is very vital, which is that when you got your leadership brand probably improving to a significant extent, you got your organizational atrophy stopped and hopefully moving to a plus. The third is you need your political narrative. And I think the Congress party needs to fix that quickly, because I think the BJP is clearly feeling the heat. In my opinion, Rahul, I'm not trying to exaggerate it because I'm a critic of Mr. Modi or the BJP, but I do think India is beginning to hint that it is open to an alternative. Now, Mr. Modi can win a few more elections here and there, that's fine. But the truth is that India is a vast, diverse, complex country. And the BJP has been underestimating the wisdom, I think, of India's, general, shall we say, population. India could be ready to experiment with change. And the Congress's ability to stitch an opposition alliance will be very vital.
Well, it depends on how smartly he moves from here.
Yeah.
Political smarts is not something that's been associated with him so far, but he's shown greater perseverance than most would have expected from him. Let me now come, before I go across to our political netas on this show, to that one big question, which is really the question that matters most. I showed you before now, state-by-state breakup of Rahul Gandhi's popularity. I will now show you the national big picture. When that question was asked, are you satisfied with Rahul Gandhi, to the All India sample base in this See Voter India Today Mood of the Nation poll, this is what we found. In January 1, 2022, so that's last year, Rahul Gandhi's national popularity was at 40%. That has now gone up 8 percentage points to 48. So in January last year, more people thought they didn't like him than those who liked him. That's quite bad for a politician. From there, there's now an 8% gap between those who like him and those who don't. 48 versus 40. Now, that's a pretty big number, because it's a stock, as I said, that had taken a big beating. From there to be up 8%, Rohan Gupta. But the BJP, the moment I go to Syed Zafar Islam, will say it doesn't matter how Rahul Gandhi batted, it matters who won the race. And when it comes to the question of who's more popular, Prime Minister Modi is still way ahead. He's like a giant. Rahul then, in comparison, still a marginal player. What do you make of all the analysis that we put out so far? Rohan Gupta.
So Rahul, I think it's called that good beginning is half done. So I look at this yatra as a very good beginning, and three very important objectives according to me this yatra has achieved. Number one, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has touched each and every class of the society. He has reached out to the people, heard their problems, and he is like their family member. The kind of vibes what we get from, the yatra is different. It is not just a politician. He is like their family member. That is number one. Number two, he has ensured that positive narrative, which was not possible in Indian politics, against BJP's hatred or negative narrative, he's been able to establish that. Now, the whole media, why we are discussing Bharat Jodo Yatra, it is something unusual, because after 4,000 kilometers, if you are successful in putting up positive narrative, I think it's a big achievement for any politician. And number three, he has energized our cadre to a large extent, I think, everywhere, where I think one of your correspondents was saying that where our organization was totally over. I think there also our workers have come out and a new kind of belief that yes, we can definitely take on BJP or negative politics and we can fight back. So three important objectives have been achieved through Bharat Jodo Yatra, and as rightly told by Sanjay, now Haath Jodo Abhiyan, which is a very, very important campaign by Congress party. Before we started Bharat Jodo Yatra, nobody imagined that this kind of massive program will be organized by Congress party. The same way, Haath Jodo Abhiyan is our energized cadre is going to go door to door across India in each and every booth and ensure that message of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, ensure the message of Congress party and our ideology, it will be communicated to people. So that is point number 2. And after that, obviously, when our booths are strong, our cadre is strong, we are ready to fight the election. So I think we are on the right track. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has shown the people that yes, positively also you can fight with BJP. You don't have to just enter into argument with them or go into that negativity. So it's a new way of politics by Mr. Rahul Gandhi, and I think we'll see the results very shortly in the state elections also.
You know, and the thing is, as you see in those images playing on your screen right now, where he's throwing snowballs at his sister, he even seemed to have fun. The thing so far was Rahul Gandhi never seemed to enjoy politics through this yatra in the colors that he's shown of his personality. For once, it seemed as if he was actually having a great time. But it's very important that somebody who's doing a particular job enjoy what he does. I have to enjoy bringing the Newstrack to you and everything else that I do during the day. And similarly, I know for a fact that Prime Minister Modi, Amit Shah, the likes of Yogi Adityanath love what they do. It never seemed like Rahul Gandhi was enjoying himself. Now at least, whether it's for the moment or permanent change, I don't know, but it seemed in moments that he seemed to be having a good time. Now, Syed Zafar Islam, from the BJP's perspective, in a state like Gujarat, the Congress didn't even show up to the fight. And therefore, it really suited the BJP because you're punching the Congress and the Congress is not even fighting back. And therefore, it's a one-way traffic and the BJP ends up with a historic mandate. Are you concerned in the incremental gains that Rahul has made during this yatra that RG is sending the message, RG abhi zinda hai? Here's not someone who's confused or unwilling. He's willing to put himself out there as much as possible, out in the snow, battling the elements, taking on the BJP. At least there's an opponent you can take on now.
Well, Rahul, Congress will have a different take and other parties will definitely have a different take. My observation or our party's observation that this particular yatra was a directionless yatra. The messaging was wrong. He was giving a message, Bharat Jodo, Bharat is intact. In fact, had he tried to Congress Jodo Yatra, perhaps he would have been benefited purely to ramp up his organization, gets more support from people, because he has been deserted by none other than his own cadre, his own people, his own leadership, likes of Sanjay Jha. He was a Congress spokesperson earlier, now he's no more. He's coming as an analyst, still talking about Congress. But the fact that there are many such Sanjay Jha who have deserted their own leadership and their own leaders because they were not comfortable and
now Sanjay is wondering, are you praising him or are you critiquing him? He's not certain whether that's a thank you and a good job.
No,
are you
praising.
unsettling him?
Just a second. No, they didn't like the way they didn't like the way Rahul Gandhi was functioning, and that he picked up the issues. He picked up the issues which was totally unwarranted, and perhaps they felt that he is a kid. So he has been ridiculed by everyone, including Congress leadership, senior leaders, and many of the spokespersons. They informally said, yes, we are unhappy with the way he functions. So first of all, he should have focused on his own organization. Had there been a good organization, perhaps he could have done better. But now he has been, the messaging was the Bharat Jodo. When the popularity, you see the popularity rate, you have to see what it was in 2019, where he was, the popularity rate was highest, all the states and in the center. And yet, the performance was absolutely pathetic.
No, that's a very good point. That's a very good point that Syed Zafar Islam makes. He understands data, so he's picked on that smartly. That's the advantage of being a numbers guy in his past life. He says, forget where Rahul Gandhi stands today, Rohan Gupta, even when he stood where he did in 2019, which was higher than when he stands today, the Congress still got beaten. So kya farak padta hai? Even if he's coming back to where he was, he's still below where he once was, and we'll still beat him. It doesn't matter. It suits us to have Rahul Gandhi and the Congress as an opponent.
See, Rahul, you missed one very important point when I was making my statement that he has been able to establish the alternate narrative. That's what BJP is doing. क्या हिंदू मुसलमान आएगा या राष्ट्रवाद आएगा, तो ये दोनों नैरेटिव के सामने आज आप राहुल गांधी has put up a strong narrative that yes, we are talking about people. We have to fight on inflation. We have to fight on prices. We have to fight on unemployment, and that is what the narrative is. If it is not emotional narrative, the BJP is not going to make even to 3-digit. I'm telling you, Rahul. Only possible thing for BJP is to rouse Hindu Musalman, or that is where the difference is. So I think maybe he's a number guy, but as far as the real pulse is concerned, I think he has missed that. The basic narrative of BJP has been shattered. बहुत ट्राई किया उन्होंने, झूठ फैलाया, नए नए वीडियोस लेके आए, हर को टी शर्ट की बात की, ये किया, सब फेल हो गए. फिर बोलते हैं कि नहीं भारत जोड़ो यात्रा से हमको फर्क नहीं पड़ता. तो भाई साहब फिर डिबेट में क्यों आते हैं? आप आते हैं, डिस्कस करते हैं. सो माय पॉइंट,
they've come at our invitation. वो कोई अपनी मर्जी से थोड़ी आया, हमने उनको बुलाया, इसलिए आप ऐसे बोलो डिबेट पे क्यों आते हैं? That's not the point. Anyway,
नहीं, मैं उनकी मर्जी की बात कर रहा हूँ. मैं उनकी बात कर रहा हूँ कि उनको राहुल लगता है कि भारत जोड़ो यात्रा नहीं है तो क्यों जफर भाई अपना टाइम और कहीं स्पेंड करे. माय पॉइंट इज सिंपल, लाइक आई अगेन गो बैक टू द पॉइंट रेज्ड बाय मिस्टर जफर.
मैं तो कहता हूं भारत तोड़ो यात्रा है भाई.
2019 numbers. Now, popularity of Rahul Gandhi, alternate narrative, energized cadre of Congress party, and zeal to fight and win elections. I think these are the four factors.
What I don't understand, Yashwant, when I look at your numbers is, I would have anticipated, given the fact that he was out in the snow, in the cold, making this last hurrah, I would have expected a last leg bump, which you typically get at the climax of your yatra. Your data doesn't show that. Is that because it's the recency effect, like it's too close to the moment? And if we do it, say 7-10 days from now, maybe that bump will be visible. People haven't processed it. I have, most of our viewers have, because they're watching TV live. But as these images then get percolated through society, on social media, WhatsApp, etc., it'll take time for that to start reflecting. I'm actually surprised that in the last few days, in several states, for what it's worth, your numbers show a bit of a dip instead of a bit of a jump.
Well, that's what I was mentioning, that the sustainability is the key. It's been a long yatra, and when he started a few months back in Tamil Nadu, I was keen to see if that sustainability is there in terms of numbers, even today, the bump that he got after the yatra. So that's why it is remarkable to see that his numbers are sustaining in south of Vindhyas for sure. But in the north of Vindhyas, I would be keen to see if these numbers are sustainable, because of a simple reason that Rajdeep mentioned, that he has not really touched the states where the organization is weak. He has, in comparison to the states where his organization is strong, the bumps are not that big where the organization is not so strong. So these are key and important things. Yes, there is a V-shaped recovery, that is for sure. That's what data has been showing, and that's what we have been reporting all along. What would be interesting to observe, Rahul, from here onwards, say maybe 3 months down the lane, we have to revisit these numbers and see if these numbers are sustaining even after 3 months the yatra is over, and what is going to be critical at that point for time to see if the Congress comes up with a backup plan, if the Congress comes up with a sustainable plan, with the next plan of action, with the next yatra or whatever program that they are coming up, are they keeping the pot boiling or not? That's the big key thing. And please remember that whenever they plan from east to west or west to east process, as Rajdeep mentioned, those are the states in the east sector or the eastern coast, for example, or in the extreme west like Gujarat, where they got decimated big time in these elections. These are the states where the Congress rank and file in the Congress organization has been eroded like anything. So we have to see how much impact that has, and how much impact does this bump from the current phase of yatra carries on or spills over to that phase of the yatra. So good start. It has given him good numbers. He has been resurrected of sorts. His numbers have been repaired, and it would be interesting to observe if he can follow up, or the Congress can follow up with the follow-up program and make this sustainable. We are still more than a year ahead from the next general elections, and that is where it matters the most.
So here's what I wish to say in conclusion. If you want to gauge the full impact of the yatra, give it a couple of more weeks. Then run the same set of questions, by then people would have absorbed all these images of Rahul in the snow, everything that happened in the last few days, and you'll have an actual picture of what impact it had. To ask this question today, which is what we needed to do from the perspective of this broadcast and our editorial coverage, is not the right academic way to do it. Give it some time, let people soak it in, then ask that question. You get a fairer sense of where things stand. Secondly, what you need to track is how sustainable is that bump. So the Yatra has created some goodwill around Rahul Gandhi. Is that just a temporary blip, or can it sustain? That you'll know only a few months down the line when you can check how sustainable the bump in Rahul Gandhi's Yatra popularity has been. But the fact is, as I said, here was a stock that people had given up on. It was battered, bruised. From there, Rahul Gandhi sending out the message, "Aaj abhi zinda hai." That message registering at this moment amongst Congress Karyakartas, amongst the party workers who seem completely confused about whether Rahul even wanted to be in politics or not. He's kind of dealt with that. The much bigger challenge is to win the fence-sitters, those who don't necessarily believe in Hindutva but like what the Prime Minister is doing, try and pull some of them back, the ones who helped the Congress win in 2009. Middle India, not necessarily your core BJP Hindutva vote base, can he win them back? That's a tough ask. The data from the Mood of the Nation suggests, and I'll put that out last, when that question is asked, who do you prefer as the next Prime Minister? There is a big gap. You know, Modi versus Rahul Gandhi, almost like 100% gap. 60% for Narendra Modi as of today, Rahul Gandhi at 31. So a huge gap. Modi's popularity still twice that, and this really gives it perspective. No matter where Rahul Gandhi is reached relative to where he was and relative to other Congress leaders, that's all in the opposition scheme of things. On that one big national question that matters most, who do people prefer as Prime Minister? Prime Minister Modi's popularity is almost twice that of Rahul Gandhi. That's a reality check for Rahul Gandhi and those in the Congress who are cheering him on at the moment. But the other reality also is that no political yatra in India so far has ever gone unrewarded. So there is enough to clutch on to. The data has different angles. You can cut, slice and dice it in. What you see, what you choose to see, depends on which side of the political spectrum you sit on. I've tried to lay it out as objectively as possible. Thank you for joining in. I'm slipping into a quick break. When we come back, Shahrukh Khan gives out a message of love after the big release of the film Pathaan, which is on its way to be one of India's biggest hits ever. Details coming up from that press conference that Shahrukh did this evening on the other side of a quick break.
के बनवास का टाइम खत्म हुआ
and your time starts
With Pathaan, Shahrukh Khan has shown who is the real Badshah of Bollywood.
पठान के घर पे रखोगे तुम्हें मरनाबाजी के लिए पठान तो आएगा
Shahrukh Khan's Pathaan has finally ended Bollywood's dry season.
और पटाखे भी लाएगा
Leaving Bahubali and KGF 2 far behind. Within 2 days of its release, Pathaan has collected more than 216 crore worldwide.
पठान Thanto Hunt it
Within 48 hours, Pathaan has shattered nearly 20 records. The film has collected more than 106 crores worldwide on the day of its release, which is more than any other Hindi film. It is now the biggest opener of King Khan's career. It is the fastest Hindi film to enter the 100 crore club. Pathan is the only Hindi film to touch 70 crore mark in a single day in India. Pathan became the only film in 32 years to have a houseful show in Kashmir Valley. According to trade experts, Pathan could surpass lifetime box office collection of Bahubali, The Conclusion and KGF 2.
You're on board the Newstrack. Shahrukh Khan's Pathan is on a record-breaking spree. The film has collected over 500 crore rupees in just 5 days. The superstar and the film's team came out in Mumbai to thank the fans, and Shahrukh had an important message of love for all those who hate him. Listen in.
Private terror group, जो किसी मकसद के लिए नहीं.
We love each other, we joke with each other, we have fun with each other. Fun, entertainment should be left at that tabka. उसको उससे ज़्यादा seriously लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. We all are one, there is brotherhood, there is no sisterhood with Deepika, but there is brotherhood. All of us, we are loving each other and trying to make that love spread. Just to tell you, in a very simple manner, which I was talking in backstage and everybody believed me. This is Deepika Padukone. ये अमर हैं. मैं शाहरुख खान हूँ. मैं अकबर हूँ. ये जॉन है. ये एंथनी है.
And this is where I wrap up the Newstrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. tomorrow evening when we'll be counting down to the big union budget. We'll have the results of the economic survey and we'll try and look at the state of the Indian economy ahead of Nirmala Sitharaman's budget. See you tomorrow at 8. Rajdeep Sardesai comes up next with News Today.
Joining me now from Australia is the editor-in-chief of Australia Today, Jitarth Bharadwaj. Jitarth, we've spoken earlier as well, but earlier we were speaking about defacing and looking at it as an alarm. But this has now got physical. The aggression shown by some of these Khalistani extremist goons is for all to see. What did the police say and what exactly unfolded? How did it turn into a scuffle?
See, I'll be very wary of using the word scuffle. It was an open attack by Khalistani goons on peaceful Tiranga playing Indian Australians. And it's unfortunate that the Victoria Police was unable to protect its own citizens here in Melbourne, heart of Melbourne, where at least 40 policemen was present. Despite that, these Khalistan goons were able to attack these people, Indian Australians, with number of arm and ammunitions. You know, you can see these. They were not only the poles which were used; there were knives and one. Probably made to purpose kind of a there was a knife put on the first end of the pole, which was used to attack one of the boys who was most people have missed that pictures, but that is disgusting. The cut are severe on his head, and I can't tell you the way two of them are Britishers. They were threatening right in middle of Federation Square, Australian citizens to telling them to F off from here. I mean, how can they survive in Australia? They should be thrown out of this place.
Jitard, do try and help us understand here, because there is growing Khalistan extremism and support coming in, for example, in Canada. How has it started to transform even in Australia? Because earlier many wanted to take it lightly that, nobody knows who's defacing the temples. But now it's very clear it's leading to physical attacks against Indians, even students. So how has that development come forth? And secondly, can you tell us about those injured as well, the Indian students who were attacked?
The one of the students, young boy, you can see him in the pictures.
Yes.
He was beaten by poles, so his injuries are kind of on shoulder. His ear is a little bit cut or something, but the major injury come to 3 seasoned people. One of them is an IT consultant who was present at that Federation Square with his wife. Can you imagine somebody going to Federation Square playing Indian national flag, and he severely broken? 4 fingers have been broken. How can we, police was right there next to him and nobody saved him. Probably they were too busy doing different things, but
yes,
this is the end result, that gentleman, his fingers, left hand, 3-4 fingers have been broken by because they were hitting with a pole. And
Jitard, continue to get us the details coming in from Australia. This is disturbing because it has gone on from defacing the Hindu temple walls with the anti-India, anti-Hindu and pro-Khalistan graffiti to now physically attacking those who are holding the tricolour in Australia. And we hope that the Australian police is taking cognizance of this matter. Even this time, remember, had it not been for the few personnel, the situation could have turned much worse. Jitard Bharadwaj, Editor-in-Chief of Australia Today, with the latest on that.
The Rafale Marine jets in action. Part of the French Navy's carrier strike group, including the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle. The strike group carried out exercise Varuna with the Indian Navy from January 16th to 20th, followed by a port call in Goa. In the exercise, the French Rafales and Indian Navy's MiG-29s operated together.
The French aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle has just completed an exercise with the Indian Navy. Exercise Varuna has just concluded and the aircraft carrier is now docked in Goa. After the exercise, a lot of maintenance work is going on. This is the hangar area. The Rafale fighter aircraft, the marine version, are also on board. They had taken part in the exercise as well. Several other aircraft, including helicopters, surveillance aircraft, also here. This is the hangar area, which can accommodate up to 25 aircraft, which includes about 20 Rafales at one point of time. And this is the lift that carries the aircraft to the flight deck, and also other heavy equipment and material that is needed by the personnel. We can see that a lot of material is still being brought down. It's been taken to different tiers. There are two such lifts at this aircraft carrier, and at one point of time, one.
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're with the news today. This is your primetime destination news, newsmakers, talking points. The big talking point tonight, Adani Group versus Hindenburg Research. It is a battle that has billions of dollars and reputations of powerful people at stake. Is it a conspiracy as Adani claims, or simply a fraud as Hindenburg insists? We'll find out more. Also, Bharat Jodo Yatra over. What are the Congress's gains? Jairam Ramesh is among my special guests tonight. But first, as always, it's time for the 9 headlines at 9. The bloodbath continues at the Adani Group counters on the stock market. 5 of its 10 stocks are at a lower circuit. The Hindenburg effect sees Adani investors lose 5.6 lakh crores in 3 days. The group's top financial officer tells India Today the report is bogus. Hindenburg sticks to its charges, says don't hide behind the cloak of nationalism. From Kanyakumari to Kashmir, the Bharat Jodo Yatra finally concludes. Rahul Gandhi says people of Kashmir gave him love, not hand grenades. BJP hits out saying Gandhis in Kashmir are safe today because of Prime Minister Modi. TMC MP Mahua Moitra, lawyer Prashant Bhushan, journalist N. Ram moved the Supreme Court against the ban on the BBC film on the Gujarat riots. Law Minister slams the move, says this is how court's time is being wasted.